Mastering precise weighting is a fundamental cornerstone of scuba diving, as an excessive load can cause buoyancy complications, creating significant challenges in various diving scenarios. More importantly, carrying excess weight poses a substantial risk in case of a BCD malfunction. Therefore, it is absolutely crucial to meticulously adjust your weights before delving into other aspects of diving. Regrettably, a high percentage of divers, including instructors, not only underestimate the significance of appropriate weighting, but also lack understanding of the correct method for configuring their own or their students' equipment. The primary aim is to carry an ample amount of weight that ensures a comfortable descent, preventing the risk of drowning in the event of complete BCD failure and enabling the diver to comfortably execute shallow stops towards the end of the dive. To determine the appropriate amount of weight for a dive, a comprehensive understanding of the precise buoyancy characteristics of each piece of equipment is essential. This includes recognizing whether each item worn by the diver is positively, negatively, or neutrally buoyant, encompassing the diver's own buoyancy. For instance, if the exposure suit, wing, or BCD and accessories collectively contribute to 12 kilograms of positive buoyancy, while the backplate, cylinder, gas, and additional gear result in 10 kilograms of negative buoyancy, the initial step is to add 2 kilograms of weight to achieve equilibrium. However, it is crucial to factor in the gas weight consumed during the dive. Assuming an 11.1-liter aluminum cylinder and a 150 bars gas used at the dive's conclusion, an additional weight of approximately 2 kilograms is required for neutral buoyancy at the dive's end. To determine the exact weight of usable gas, calculate the volume in liters by multiplying the cylinder capacity with the usable gas pressure. In our instance, 150 bars multiplied by 11.1 liters, resulting in 1,665 liters, then multiply this gas volume by the universal weight of the gas in your tank, which in our case is 1.29 grams as we use standard air. This results in a total of 2.14 kilograms that you can round down to 2 kilograms for simplicity. As we may not always be aware of the exact buoyancy attributes of all our equipment, weight checks can be conducted both at the outset and conclusion of dives. Let's have a look at the right methods for assessing weight and how to make adjustments to identify the optimal quantity. In a vertical position at the surface, fully deflate your BC and hold a casual full breath that's about 80% of your lung volume while striving for stillness, as any movement can impact the accuracy of your evaluation. Your aim is to float at eye level, and if you begin to descend at this stage, it indicates that you are carrying excessive weight. Reducing your lung volume to 50% will keep you afloat with the top of your head at the surface, and as you exhale to 20%, you'll initiate a slow descent that you can stop anytime just by inhaling back again. Whenever you inhale back to 80%, you will once again find yourself on the surface floating at eye level, and this proves that you are correctly weighted and you can utilize your lungs to naturally control your buoyancy. It's essential to understand that this method doesn't provide precise confirmation of the required amount for the end of the dive, but it ensures that you have sufficient weight for a descent without any unnecessary excess. The most accurate procedure to work out the correct amount of weight is to complete an end-of-dive check underwater at the depth of your last safety or decompression stop, ideally in between 3 to 5 meters. At this point, your cylinder should only retain the reserve pressure, and if you haven't consumed that amount of gas, you can easily purge your regulator to reach the 50 bar mark, ensuring a precise weight assessment. If you find yourself needing to purge excess gas, it's important to keep in mind that directing your regulator downward during the purge significantly lowers the chances of your regulator experiencing free flow issues. Make sure to carefully observe and monitor your SPG throughout this process to prevent the inadvertent depletion of more air than originally intended. Once you are done, make sure to switch back to your primary second stage and to stabilize your body position prior to commencing the actual weight check exercise. Completely empty your BC, both in horizontal and vertical positions, to ensure there is absolutely no gas trapped inside. Breathe in and hold a lung volume of 50%. At this point, you should be completely neutral, remaining stationary without any upward or downward movement. As you increase your lung volume to 80%, you start to slowly ascend. And when you decrease it to 20% upon exhalation, you will begin to descend. Whenever you arrive at 50% lung capacity, you should be neutrally buoyant. In case you experience difficulties with controlling your depth changes by breathing only, you may need to adjust your weight either by adding or removing some, and upon achieving these results, you will know the accurate amount of weight for that particular equipment configuration. Abstain from doing these exercises, but to illustrate the significant difference between correct and excessive weighting, we aim to show you the surface check once more, this time with an additional 1 kilogram. Following the same procedure as before, you can observe that the diver doesn't float at eye level when holding 80% lung volume and starts to slowly sink when exhaling down to about 50%. Repeating the check with an extra 2 kilograms shows you that the diver already starts to slowly sink when holding 80% lung volume and quickly descends when exhaling to 50%. This demonstrates that even a seemingly insignificant additional weight can entirely offset a diver's lung capacity. Consider the scenario of a BCD failure while diving deep with only 2 kilograms of excess lead. Let's observe the impact of additional weights at the end of the dive, starting with 1 kilogram. At maximum lung capacity, the diver can only maintain neutral buoyancy, lacking the ability to initiate an ascent, and any amount of exhalation would cause her to begin to sink. With 2 kilograms, the diver quickly descends and is unable to become neutral even when using the full lung volume. Carrying excess weight is inefficient and has a detrimental impact on every aspect of your diving experience. Moreover, being overweighted can lead to serious danger. Use these weight-checking methods, especially when you change any piece of your equipment, and record it in your logbook to ensure you never carry more than what is needed for a safe dive. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Consider subscribing to FlowState Divers to become part of the community of conscious divers and to get notified on our upcoming content.